It's been a roller coaster ride for the Columbus Blue Jackets this season as they struggle with injuries and inconsistency. Jay Forster of Locked On Blue Jackets joins us to discuss this and what chances the Blue Jackets have for getting back into the playoff hunt. All that and more coming up on today's Locked On NHL podcast.
You're Locked On NHL, your daily podcast on the National Hockey League. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
And welcome back, everybody, to the Locked On NHL podcast. Gil Martin, so glad you could join us today. And thank you for making Locked On NHL your first listen every day. We are free and available on all platforms. It is my pleasure to welcome back to the show the host of Locked On Blue Jackets, Jay Forster. And Jay, 3 straight losses, and yet they're not playing terribly, are they?
No, and I mean that was you said 2 words in the intro there. It was injuries and inconsistency, and that's been the theme of the Blue Jackets all season. And even when it's been such a frustrating season for a lot of reasons, but I think one of them for me has been, look, beside the injuries, besides the inconsistency, besides the goaltending, which I'm sure we'll get into.
Yeah.
The thing for me is that the Blue Jackets have this weird thing this season where sometimes they play well and then lose. And then sometimes they play just god awful and somehow end up winning. Like the game against the LA Kings, I thought everyone was terrible. Everyone was bad in that game and should feel bad about it. And somehow they end up winning. It takes it to overtime. The puck goes in off of Kevin Fiala to get the win. And I don't know, just Blue Jackets, like you said before we started recording, they can't seem to get out of their own way sometimes, and it's a very frustrating team to watch sometimes. Most of the time, in fact.
Yeah, I mean, let's start with goaltending since you did mention that it has been an issue. No Blue Jackets goaltender has a goals against average below 3.27 right now. That's got to be tough, and injuries obviously to Korpisalo not helping. What's going on in between the pipes right now in Columbus?
Yeah, I mean, in fairness to the goaltenders, Joost Korpisalo I think has been very good this season. He's really kind of had a little bit of a resurgence from the past couple of seasons. He was not very good at all. He got surgery in March of this year, I believe. Missed the rest of the season. Missed the start of this season, and from there, it's like it makes me wonder how long that hip has been bothering him, because he looks like a completely different goaltender. I know you mentioned the goals against average. I don't tend to buy into that as like a metric of goaltending success, because if a guy's facing 60 shots a night and letting in 5 goals, then he's going to have a goals against average of over 5, but he's going to have a save percentage of over 900. So Korpisalo has, I believe, a 903
yes
at the minute. And Daniil Tarasov, the rookie, who is backing up Merzlikins at the minute and who has kind of been bouncing up and down from Cleveland, which can't help his development, but it is what it is. He, I believe, is sitting on a 907, which is pretty good. The problem is Elvis Merzlikins has not been the rock star that we need him to be. And like that, I hate criticizing the goalies, and I think it's a very hard position to play. It's a tough position to play when your team has like fully half of your defensemen are under 20 NHL games. Like that's a tough. The game is loaded against you. Like the die are loaded against you. I can't think of the metaphor that I want right now, but my point stands is that he's already playing a losing game.
It is not an easy assignment, no question about that.
No, it's a tough assignment, but I also think he needs to be better. And I think it's very much a case of, well, is it the goaltending that's to blame, or is it the defense that's to blame? And honestly, it's kind of both. I mean, you look at the defense. Zach Werenski done for the season. There's your number one defenseman. He's done. Adaboquist, broken foot. Nick Blankenberg playing in his rookie season, playing really well. Breaks his ankle, I believe, actually. He's done until probably January. Adaboquist might be back soon, who knows. Jake Bean, who, had not been very good this season, but had been getting better. Doesn't break anything actually. He, I believe, tears his labrum. Torn labrum surgery done for the season. So there's 4 of your top 6 defensemen that are done for long periods of time. So right now the defense is being run by Vladislav Gavrikov, who is doing his best as a defensive-minded defenseman, trying his best to do anything other than defend. And Eric Branson, who I have been extremely critical of on the podcast, but in my defense, I feel like it's justified. He's not been very good. He's been better recently, but a lot of the problems, and I know this is not really about goaltending, but it's something that I kind of have been thinking about in terms of the defense. A lot of these guys are playing much higher in the lineup than they should be.
Right.
And I feel like this is a problem that the Islanders had last season, actually, which is they had a lot of guys who were very good third-line guys or second-line guys that played up in the lineup and were not very good. Because with the best will in the world, I don't think Vladislav Gavrikov is a top-pairing defenseman. I don't think Andrew Peeke is a top-pairing defenseman. But because of where the Blue Jackets are in terms of their health, that's where they're playing. Vladislav Gavrikov is playing 25 minutes a night. Like, that's too many minutes for Vladislav Gavrikov. It's too many minutes for anyone, arguably, but it's especially too many minutes for a guy that is, at best, a second-pairing guy. So it's going to be a long season. It's been a long season, and we're not even halfway through.
Yeah. One thing I am a little surprised at, you have Johnny Gaudreau, Patrick Laine. This team is 29th in the league on the power play, and Gaudreau has no power play goals yet this season. What's going on with the extra attacker this year?
The short answer is that I'm pretty sure someone has cursed the power play. It's been very, very bad for a long time now. Maybe since I can't remember what season Sam Gagner signed with the Blue Jackets for 1 year, but I feel like it was the 2016 season, and that was the last time that I remember the power play being consistently good. So maybe he cursed it on his way out of town. I don't know. But and I think, again, it comes down to injuries. Patrick Laine's missed a huge chunk of the season. Zach Greinke, who has been, the power play quarterback for basically since Seth Jones left, and even a little bit before then, he can't do it. Adam Boquist, power play defenseman, not available. Nick Blankenberg, power play defenseman, not available. Jake Bean, power play defenseman, not available. With the best will in the world, Johnny Gaudreau is a phenomenal hockey player. He is having a great season, which a lot of people don't like to mention because they're like, wow, I can't believe he signed in Columbus. What a bum. He's having a terrible season. He's got 33 points in 30 games. Like, he's doing fine, guys. He's a really good player. He cannot do it himself. And I think that's partially the issue with, you mentioned he hasn't got any power play goals. I feel like at least 3 of Boone Jenner's power play goals have been either Gaudreau shots that have bounced off him or rebounds that he's just managed to get in, or Patrick Laine rebounds, or they've bounced off of Boone Jenner and in. He did this last season. He stole a bunch of Patrick Laine's power play goals just because he plays that game where he just stands in front of the net and gets in the way, essentially. Which, more credit to him. He's currently leading the team. I think he's got 11 goals on the season. But it's just, again, I think it comes down to injuries. The Blue Jackets haven't had a fully, their number one power play unit, I don't think has seen the ice this season.
Yeah.
Or their ideal power play unit hasn't seen the ice this season because of various injuries or lineup decisions or what have you.
That certainly makes it tough. No question about that. Jay, why don't you tell our viewers and our listeners where they could find the podcast and where they could find you on social media?
Well, I don't know that I can, in good conscience, recommend that you pay attention to the Blue Jackets at this point in the season. But if you want to, if you're a Flames fan and you want to catch up with all of the nice things I say about Johnny Gaudreau, you can do that at Locked On Blue Jackets, which is wherever you get Locked On NHL. We are on Apple, we're on Spotify, we're on Stitcher, Podbean. We're also over on YouTube. You can subscribe over there if you want. You can follow the podcast on Twitter for as long as Twitter continues to exist at LO_Blue Jackets. You can follow me at _Jacob Forster, JAKOBFORSTER. If you would like to mix some pictures of food or dogs or terrible jokes in with your hockey, then that's where you can find me.
All right, Jay, always a pleasure. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Today's episode is brought to you by your friends at Athletic Greens. Our next partner has a product I literally use every day. I started taking AG1 because I'm not a great pill taker, and I didn't want to have to take 5, 6, 8 pills every day in order to maintain a healthy lifestyle. So what is this stuff? Well, with one delicious scoop of AG1, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help you start your day right. This special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, and aging. All these things. And it's lifestyle friendly, whether you eat keto, paleo, vegan, dairy-free, or gluten-free. It contains less than 1 gram of sugar, no GMOs, no nasty chemicals or artificial anything, while still tasting good. Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just 1 scoop in a cup of water every day, and that's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/NHL Network. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/NHL Network to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.